can't help but laugh with our TIE Fighter sounds last week.
Yeah, that was a good one. That seemed to go over pretty well too. People were talking about it, saying you guys are the worst TIE Fighter impressions we ever.
I thought we did I'd say like a 6 out of 10 at least, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have said worst. Like,
yeah, no,
but
I've heard worse.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's just one of those that I'm like, if I was watching Star Wars, that's how I hear it. That's how that's what it is. But how was your week this week?
Feels good, man. It's been good. You know, nothing too all. I did go to a concert. Went to what was it? ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner. Little Sweet Home Alabama.
One of the members of ZZ Top is dead, correct?
Yes.
So I need you to settle a debate we've been having. My father wanted me to go see Queen with him. And obviously, the lead singer of Queen has been dead for quite some time now. Right. And I think it's one of the American Idol winners is like now leading Queen. And he's like, do you want to go see Queen with me? And I'm like, that's not Queen. Like, that's not Queen. It's Queen with so-and-so being the lead singer. And he's like, no, it's Queen. And I'm like, I can't. Like, I can't say that. And like, so I'm wondering with ZZ Top, with one of the original members not being there, is it still ZZ Top?
So yes. Short answer, yes. I still feel like they did a great job. And I mean, if you're going that route, Leonard Skinner that we saw as well, I'm pretty sure every single member of that original band is now gone. Now, there's people that have been playing and took over roles that have probably been playing longer than the original members that were still playing. So in a weird way, it's like, yeah, but I mean, the problem with your scenario is Freddie Mercury was like super iconic in terms of the voice and everything. So I completely understand your argument for being like, it's not the same. Like, I feel that same way about like Linkin Park, like one of my favorite bands. Never saw them, and I to this day am hating the fact that I never went and saw them. But it's like, if they were to come, would I want to see them? Yeah. Would it be the same without Chester Bennington? Probably not. But
40 years
I'm a gutless flip-flopper.
40 years from now, when we get canceled and kicked off our own podcast, will it still be Scruffy Nerf Herders if we're not the hosts?
Oh, who's going to take over? What if our kids take over? What if our kids take over?
We can only dream. We can only dream.
we need to get them trained here. We have what 16 years for you, 15 years for you.
I will tell you, on the side, having like a gaming channel and having videos getting pumped out there, my daughter is picking up on the fact that Dada's on TV and Dada's on the phone. And I've always obviously I don't consider like a celebrity or anything like that, but like, I'm wondering what she thinks of that. If she just thinks that's normal and like everybody's on, which these days everybody does have a YouTube channel and everybody's got a TikTok. So it is pretty normal, but it's just weird. Like growing up, my dad was never on TV or never. I don't know.
True. That's true. Weird. No, I think your daughter 100% just fully believes you're a full blown celebrity. You know,
that's all that matters.
How would they know any different? Like they wouldn't. You know, they just see your face.
Full on rock star mode. It's all it is. 24/7.
My daughter was like, "Don't worry, I'll subscribe to your channel." I was like, "Oh, thanks." So
thanks.
We're gonna have a subscriber. She hasn't done it yet. But
you gotta threaten grounding at that
she keeps telling me she's going to. So, Bug, if you're watching this right now, hit that like and subscribe button, okay?
And if you're not his daughter and you're watching this right now, hit the subscribe button. Share it with your friends.
Those people get a nice way.
We had the big spoiler this week. I guess it's not a spoiler because Disney kind of did it themselves with the upcoming Ahsoka show, but I sent it to you. Anakin is confirmed.
Dude, we talked about that and you had brought that up and we had we're trying to figure out if it was going to be like flashback things, and I think you're exactly right. Obviously, I mean, this would be really screwed up if they did it any other way, but I think we're going to see, maybe we'll see him actually in it, or maybe it'll just be voiceovers.
Mm-hmm.
Or like what you said, what if it's like a Force ghost thing?
He comes back and apologizes for everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, like at the end of Return of the Jedi, he came back as a Force ghost, like, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry
what if he
for
comes
killing
back?
every Jedi on the face of the universe.
My bad. Sorry for going on that kill streak.
We good?
Yeah. No, it's
not
interesting.
quite.
I'm excited to see, honestly, where they go with it, because as soon as I heard like the trailer and Hayden Christensen's voice as Anakin, I was like, "Oh snap!" I got so excited. I got like hairs stood up in my arms. You know, I was so excited.
Yeah, there was a very interesting article that I was reading about it that was talking about like spoiler culture, right? And it's become so prevalent in such a thing that like if you don't watch a show within the first 24 hours or even the first 2 hours and you go on social media, like it's fair game. Like there's not really like a time period. And Disney coming out and saying Anakin's in the show, like that is kind of a spoiler that Disney dropped, but at the same time, like I also see it as marketing. I wonder if the effect that like if we didn't know Anakin was in the show and then he showed up, like I feel like that would have almost like Luke Skywalker Mandalorian, level of hype, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they seem to keep doing some sort of like cameos in these shows lately. So, like I said, maybe it's just a Force ghost thing. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe she's like struggling, fighting somebody, and she's got her lightsaber, and then Anakin just puts his hand on her shoulder, and he's like, "Ahsoka, just
I got you.
Do this.
I got you."
She's like, Anakin.
He just leans in slowly and whispers, "Use the Force." And
or your boy in your shirt there.
Oh yeah,
well, he pops up, man. Where's he been?
Jar Jar is my homeboy.
Where's Jar Jar been?
I know. We got Tales of the Jedi, which is like it's filling in backstory, and I'm just waiting for like Tales of a Gungan, where they just where the hell's Jar Jar? Like, what's going on here?
Somebody tell me where Jar Jar went, because I want to know.
I did see this one thing that was like a comic, and they said that like he was outcasted from the Republic because he was considered like the guy that put Palpatine into power. And then like he ended up being like a jester on the street, like begging for money. And I was like, don't do Jar Jar like that. Like that's not fair. Yeah.
I saw this clip one time where it was talking about Jar Jar was like a Sith Lord, and the whole like everything, like he was the one that helped like execute Order 66 all around. And like when we first meet him like on Naboo, and he does like a crazy flip into the water, like it was like only a certain level of Force user could do a flip like that. And it was like just going in this whole like dark tunnel. But it had like the whole thing you said like last week with the droids with the C-3PO and R2. There was like somewhat evidence that was kind of backing it up as they were going through. I was like, holy cow. But we kind of discussed, like, I feel like you could almost make any story up when you're watching a movie, and then see if it's something that the director purposely put in there or didn't. So
yeah, and we saw evidence of that this week. We both kind of saw a TikTok. You sent it to me, and I saw it kind of earlier in the day, but it was like this dope TikTok where they took Rey from A Force Awakens, and the scene where she walks in and she finds Luke's old lightsaber in the treasure's chest. And then like when she opens the chest and gets close to it, we literally go through like a historical flashback scene where like we see Luke and Vader fighting, we see Anakin killing all of the sand people, and it was just such a like epic moment to tie in like the importance of this one lightsaber. And like it just makes me just sit back and be like, how does nobody at Lucas think of this stuff? Like it's frustrating because literally the title of the TikTok was "What We Could Have Had."
Right. Somebody that's kind of like us, just doing a little show or just fooling around on their phone, and they're able to make something that could severely impact the whole series of Star Wars. Like,
yeah, and like I saw this other one, this other fan theory this week that I think is like actually super dope, and it comes up with like Ahsoka, and it basically retcons everything that happened in episode 7, 8, 9 and makes like none of it matter.
Oh,
And they're
really?
like, so in Rebels, there's a place called the World Between Worlds, and it's basically a place where you've got doors and windows into key moments in the Star Wars universe. And if you will, it's like a multiverse that you could literally like go and travel between time and see like this happen or that happen. And they
Oh,
were
wow.
saying like, what if in the Ahsoka show she finds out that the Emperor returns and all of this bad stuff's happening, and she's able to go to the World Between Worlds and trace it back to one singular moment when Luke Skywalker pulls out his lightsaber and betrays Ben and forces Kylo to become a bad guy. And she's like, what if she stops Luke at that moment? And then everything that we saw in episode 7, 8, 9 never happened. And I was like,
dang.
Yeah.
That would, I mean...
I think you're having the
there's
same
no
reaction
way.
as me about it. Like, it sounds cool, but I just don't think, but like, I don't think Disney has the guts to do something that brave or that incredible.
Yeah, that would, man. It's also the thing though, it's like some people get frustrated at the end of a show or a series that they're watching where it's like, oh, it was all a dream type thing. Like I feel like that's kind of what like frustrates me with like the idea of like the multiverse with Marvel is you, at the end of it all could be for nothing. You know what I mean? Everything that you've experienced, all these sacrifices, things like that, it could just all be for nothing, and everybody wakes up and it's a happy ending because of some multiverse theory or some, oh, we can go back and just change the timeline, or we can go back, and it's like those type of things are kind of frustrating because it's like, as epic as a moment was in Endgame, where everybody kind of comes back, it took away from those impactful deaths from the previous movie. So it's one thing where I am a fan of multiverse stuff, but at the same time, I'm not. And maybe that's like the dark side of me. But like when I see a character go down and I feel something for that character, be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the value in their sacrifice, right? Like that's why Rogue One was such a great movie. Is that you got these characters that you loved, and by the end of it, spoiler alert, but they're all dead. Like you got this one semi quasi Jedi character who's blind, and you're like, this is one of the most badass characters of Star Wars all time, and then he dies, he sacrifices himself, and it's just like if they were to come out and be like, oh, none of that mattered and they're all back, but like it's just like, yeah, you lose the impact in a way. So
stories we grew up loving, you know.
Yeah. The other one that we kind of saw this week, and you sent it over to me, we talked about it in the last week's episode, but it was the Darth Maul fan film that was put together, and it was like on YouTube. Holy crap, dude. Like quality of it is definitely up there, like as far as like fan films that were made.
Oh yeah.
But also just the fighting, like the lightsaber fights. It's probably 14 minutes of lightsaber battles.
Oh yeah. The whole, like, a good majority of it is that, and it's like that's the type of stuff that I think a lot of Star Wars fans really enjoy. And it's not just have a lightsaber fight to have a lightsaber fight. Like people feel like the lightsaber fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith was so iconic because it meant so much. Same with the fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in A New Hope. Yeah, you could argue that it wasn't the greatest of lightsaber fights, but it was the meaning behind it that meant so much. And it's like the craziness that you're seeing in this fan-made thing of these awesome abilities that these people have. That's kind of what a lot of the prequel movies started doing, is having some lightsaber fights that were just badass to be badass. And that's totally cool too. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, have the cool, meaningful lightsaber fights, but also show me some freaking sick stuff because it's a lightsaber. Like, that's the stuff we want to do. We have a lightsaber. Like, and I feel like watching that, it told a pretty good story of Darth Maul. I think, can we do like a link in the description or something for it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we can.
Freaking check it out, man. If you're listening to this and you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm not sure who created it, if you have that on hand, but they did a fantastic job. Like I said, the acting was pretty good. I mean, again, it's not, wouldn't say, put this in theaters, but pretty dang good.
One of the things I actually thoroughly enjoyed about it was that like there was a story to it. Like it wasn't just a like, oh, we're just going to give you lightsaber fights after lightsaber fights. Like in the beginning, you hear the Emperor talking about why the Jedi are weak and like why they're terrible. And one of the things he says is like they're not willing to embrace their anger. And towards the end, Maul is literally slaughtering like 12 Jedi, maybe. Like they're popping up like Power Rangers, and he's literally just like killing them left and right. And then at the end, this final Jedi is just so pissed off, and she becomes angry, and she's able to fight back Maul. And I was like, oh, that's a cool carryover that like she embraced the anger, but it's just, it was very well done. So I looked it up. It's by a YouTube channel by the name of T7 Pro. I think I saw that there might be a second one, but really? I'm not. I don't know if that was just somebody else made one. But this channel has done like a lot of stuff. They made a Halo episode, an Assassin's Creed Valhalla episode.
Oh wow!
Just a lot awesome. Of cool like sword fights and breakdowns. So it looks like Darth Maul Apprentice is the fan film, and then they have one that's like Darth Maul vs. Jedi, and it's probably just like a 2-minute lightsaber fight. That's all it is. So, I mean, kudos to those guys. It was good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Bravo. But the thing about it, too, is even though it's not like canon, they did such a great job of showing how manipulative you feel like the Emperor it was. You know what I mean? Like, that's essentially what he did to Anakin, was just coerce him to the dark side by just manipulating him with power and telling him all these things that could be or things you can prevent, with the dark side of the Force and things like that. And just, it was such like a tricky way of such a dark side way of things, doing things. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
There's a line that I absolutely loved from Clone Wars where Ahsoka's talking to Maul, and Maul is telling her about Anakin joining the Emperor. And he's like very mad and he's getting angry about Anakin. And she's like, I don't understand why you're telling me this. Like, why are you so angry? And she's like, because that was my spot. And he was just like still vengeful about like, that was supposed to be me. And it's just, God, man, like this is such a great universe.
I love Darth Maul. Like, I love Darth Vader. I love the whole story arc with Anakin Skywalker as well. But my God, do I love Darth Maul. And maybe I'm not allowed to love him as much because I didn't see, like Clone Wars and Rebels and all the way through. But my question to you, somebody that has watched a good majority of them, does it change that character, or does it just kind of give more backstory to the character, more meaning to the character? Like me being somebody that loves Darth Maul from the movies and just the look of him and everything, would I be disappointed in the story arc that happens in those, or would I love it?
You'd love it. Like it just adds more depth to him is really what it comes down to.
Got some homework.
Like, this is the thing that frustrates me too, because like we kind of talked before we went live with this, but like the whole conversation of, are fans better at telling Star Wars stories than LucasFilms? Because you look at some of the stuff we saw this week with like Darth Maul, the Rey TikTok where she's opening the chest and we see everything, and then you hear like an Ahsoka fan theory, and you look at what we've got, and we've had good Star Wars content, like don't get me wrong, but there's definitely an argument that fans have become like maybe, I guess they just, I hate saying that they understand the property better than Disney or than Lucasfilms, because at the end of the day, Lucasfilm is like, it's an artistic venture. So if they decide that they want to, zig and everybody zags, that's fully up to them. And that's what Star Wars is because they define it. But then I look at something like Maul and how originally 7, 8, 9, Maul was supposed to be the villain through all of those. And he was running like the underworld as like a mob boss. And Luke and Leia were then having to kind of take Rey and then a couple other characters and fight against Maul and his empire. And I'm like, that would have been incredible. Like, I don't know a single Star Wars person that would have been like, nah, that's the dude that died in episode 1. Like, I don't want that. Like, and I guess Maul is that type of character that we didn't get enough of him when he first arrived, and everyone's like, man, you just got rid of him. It sucked.
It's kind of like what they did to Boba Fett, you know?
Mm.
They just hardly any lines. People loved him. He had like total of 16 minutes of screen time total throughout 3 movies or something like that, and then he's just thrown away to the wayside. So now they're trying to revamp it and give him credit where credit's due as far as such an iconic character that he is.
I think you hit it right on the head of comparing him to like Boba, and because that's what it is. Like he was literally a character that was thrown away, and now that we're talking about that, like I would love to get like how we had Book of Boba Fett. If we got like Book of Darth Maul, like where it just dove into like his backstory and him being a criminal boss. And like, granted, yeah, we get some of that in Rebels and we get some of it in Clone Wars, but like get dark, get gritty. Like give me Book of Darth Maul. Like that'd be sick.
Show us more of what we saw in that fan made thing. Like show the dark side.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like I think it was actually The Mandalorian when Boba Fett was first introduced back into that. I think it was season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And what I loved so much about Boba Fett in that was how badass he was, how aggressive he was with everything, and like the way he was fighting, it was with like anger and I was just like, yes, I'm like, this is so cool. Like we see so much of the good guys and we see a bit of the bad guys and stuff too, but we don't see that anger and stuff that kind of like what kind of took over Anakin and everything with the dark side. Like I want to see that. And so I don't even know why I never thought, why haven't they done like a live action Darth Maul? I would be so stoked for that.
And when you think about it, the perfect time period would be following the Han Solo movie, because at the end of Solo, Maul shows up and then we never see him again out in live action. So
I don't really scream or anything in movies. I screamed. I was like, oh, and I had to cover my mouth because I was like so excited. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Have you ever had that reaction in movies?
Oh, only when something grosses me out or like I'm not ready for it. Yeah. Are
you just like, ew?
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, like when something's like gnarly, I'm like, oh man, like, yeah, like, but I'm trying to think of like me popping in a movie, getting excited. I recently watched John Wick for the first time, and there was a few times. First one, yeah, I've never seen any of them.
Good.
So I watched the first one, and I did pop in that movie a couple times when like he was killing people. I was just like, oh my god, like it was
those movies are just fun.
Yeah, I definitely, after watching the first one, was like, I need a break. Like I can't just jump straight into the second one because he murdered like 80 people, and I'm like, let's do that again. Let's.
So, but I think I may have the answer going back to our fan fade, productions better than actuals. I think the biggest reason you can make an argument and say yes is because anything that's fan made is made from just the pure love and joy of the series. And yes, money obviously is involved in terms of having to have the money to create something like that. Those people, that studio that was doing those, the series, the Apprentice that you just watched, it's like you have to have some sort of money, some sort of budget to create that and do it. Whereas like with Disney or LucasFilms or anything, you could argue that there's just things put in there to make money. Like we said, there's always some sort of cute character in the Star Wars series, and I have nothing wrong with that. I love all of them. Like, say what you want about Porgs or Babu Frick or any of the little cute characters. Like, I love them all. Like, I seriously do. But you could argue that those are made to make money. Yeah. So when these people are making a film or money to make money, as opposed to somebody else that's just doing it because they love it so much, you could definitely see how people that do a fan made would put more things in there that they think other fans would want to see because it's something they want to see.
Yeah, I think it was either you or Brendan that called it out in Kenobi when Leia pulled out her little like Walkman robot, and you were like, "We're going to see that at Target," and then literally that next week it was like on the shelf at Target, and I was like, "Oh, that's Star Wars now." Yeah. But Yeah, I mean, what you just said, man, that was beautiful. Like, I'm not gonna even lie, because like when you said it, I was just like, oh, like that was deep. Is that like when people make a Star Wars movie, it comes from a place of passion. Like they're just and I think you get that occasionally when you bring people in who are like fans of Star Wars. But again, when you look at something like Solo, did that really need to be made? Like, it was a good heist movie, but did it need to be made, or was it just like Mickey Mouse was up in his castle, just like money, 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 just it's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely could argue that there's an audience that wanted to see Han Solo when he was younger and go through that whole plot and series and everything. But I mean, yeah, who knows, man? I mean, look what we're doing. We're not doing this for money, unfortunately. We're doing it because we love Star Wars.
Let me zoom in. Wink.
Do a little glisten.
Yeah. You can't see my hands, but my fingers are crossed when he was saying that. I'm totally in it for the money. I did have a question though for you, and it's kind of going to put you on the spot. So I'll take the question first. But if you could make a Star Wars fan movie, like you get the rights to write your own script, it can be about anything that you want, and we would go film it tomorrow, what would it be?
Ooh.
And if you want some time to think, I was thinking about this all day today, and I think I've got my mind made up.
See, it's my initial reaction is immediately to go to like Darth Maul.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Live action Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think the route I'm gonna take is what we talked about, possibly Skeleton Crew is seeing it from a kid's perspective, seeing maybe the kids joining up to take something to maybe the kids of the Jedi Temple. Yeah. What if it's like that? What if it's a series where you know what the ending's going to be, and you have all these kids that are, and they're building these relationships and going into Jedi training together, and like camaraderie, and then just knowing what the ending's going to be. How scared would you be for these characters?
Oh, the final scene is just running into a room, and then one kid turns around and he goes, "Master Skywalker," and it just credits.
That's what I'm saying. Tell me how many people would be tuned in to see the end of that show, to see how it ends.
I don't know if I could handle that. I genuinely don't know if I could handle that.
Would they all survive?
No,
you're not going to show that. You're not going to show that.
You're going to do you show that? The most impactful moment in Anakin Skywalker's like entire cinematic universe. I mean, like, yeah, he blew up planets, but nobody talks about that. Everybody's always like, remember when he killed some kids? Like,
that's true. We saw him straight chopping off the domes on sand people.
Yeah.
Nobody really batted an eye, but
the women and the children too.
Kids sitting there, and you just see, then nothing was even shown. But it's like you knew.
Yeah.
Imagine that show ending. Like you'd be like, what's gonna happen? What, like if there's a funny kid that you love, and you're just like, not him. Please, not him.
Yeah, not him. Not that kid. And then he ends up being the kid that just gets schwacked by Anakin.
Or what if they all survive? What if they all make it out? What if they all make it out? And then I'm just saying that whole lead up to that, would be, you get some people watching.
Yeah, it's funny. Like yours kind of ties into what my thought was, where I was like, we've seen Star Wars Westerns, we've seen Star Wars just legendary movies and stuff like that, but like we've never gotten a horror movie. And I'm like, I would love to see a horror movie set in the Star Wars universe, and like, you could do it one of two ways. One of them is you have the kids and they're trying to escape the Inquisitors and it's almost like the Underground Railroad where they're trying to escape and survive. But the other one that I was thinking was like, what if someone got kidnapped and thrown into like some type of Hunger Games situation where they had to be the person to survive, and they were going against like Wookiees and just like all these different aliens. And they were they had no weapons. And it's like, during that would be a Star Wars experience that I would be like, yo, I'm down for that, because we haven't seen it. But like,
give me with the gangsters and stuff that are part of Star Wars, that there would be absolutely some sort of battle royale thing going on within Star Wars. That, you know, we got movies about like people hunting people, like that's exactly what that would be. Like The Purge. Are you thinking like The Purge but for Star Wars?
Yep. Yeah. and like, even like, you know, you're like, okay, well, who would if you go back to like the kids and like we might have to write this because I think it's such a great idea. But like, even you go to the kids and you're like, okay, well, who would the monster be that would be scary? No, the stormtroopers, the Inquisitors. Like, you just film them as monsters chasing people down, dude. And it's just like, we've let them become almost like family friendly because we see them at Disney and they're just walking through the park.
True.
But it's like, no, dude, those guys are monsters. Like, we might have to, when we're together this upcoming weekend, we might have to
start brainstorming some ideas. You might see something come on here.
yeah. And then we'll have to fan fund it, and then that's how we'll make our money. And then we'll hire our kids to run this podcast instead of us.
Perfect.
Or our kids could be in it.
They could be my daughter's been taking acting classes. This is fantastic.
Yeah. Or we just pitch it to Disney and just get the payout for the script. We'll just be like, hey guys, here's
one.
Yeah.
You know, let them deal with all that.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's definitely interesting. Like, I think you nailed it 100% when you said it comes from passion. And I never looked at it that way, but that's definitely what it comes down to. Is just they're passionate. They love Star Wars, and that's what it's all about, dude.
That's the wonderful thing about the human race is the creativity that people can have in many, many, many different art forms, whether it be acting, whether it be music, you know, art as far as like painting, drawing, writing books, telling stories. There's so many things out there that people just do to express themselves and express their interest in what they love. And that's just such a beautiful thing to watch. So
it's true.
I mean, that's obviously what movies are, and it's what entertainment is for us to be entertained by these people's thoughts and ideas. And I mean, that's what we're doing here. So,
yep. And I guess before we move on, trademark, copyright, everything for our concept. If we catch anybody making that
August
movie,
16th, 2023. That's when we're recording this. So
y'all gonna have a lawsuit on your hands if we catch you using it. I'm talking to you, Bob Iger.
Dude, if that comes out, we'd be like, dude, they stole that from us.
Yeah. I don't know what I would be more excited about, of like whether or not they made it, or like whether someone at Star Wars is listening to our podcast. Right. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Dang it. But yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that would be nuts. I got some more TikToks for this week.
Heck yeah, man.
Okay.
We need to have an intro. Like,
TikToks are the greatest thing.
TikToks of the week. Maybe are we allowed to say TikTok?
Yeah, I think we can. You know, I had another. If someone wants to take this idea, they 100% can. But I wanted to create a podcast called Shit Talk, where you literally is just hour long podcast, and we just watch TikToks and talk shit about them. And just like, just literally like you do with probably your wife. You literally just show her TikToks and like, let me show you this. And yeah. So if someone would like to take that idea.
Reaction videos. I think that's what most reaction videos are, you know?
So I've got 4 TikToks. Yeah.
Is that a new record? Or did we do 4 last week?
I think we did 5 last week.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I think we did 5. And now that I'm looking at it, I do have a 5th, but it's for something later. It's not this, obviously.
Lay it on me.
This first one, I definitely think you're going to enjoy, just seeing that we're both theater kids, but...
We fought with him. Me, I died for him. Me, I trusted him. Me, I loved him. And me, I'm the damn fool that shot him.
Yes.
What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton.
That is, dude... Star Wars musical. Why didn't we say that? We could... That's awesome.
We are 100% getting copyrighted claimed for that, but 100% worth it, man. Like, so fucking creative. Like,
that's good.
That was one of those, when I was watching it, I was just like, how did I never think of this? But the song fits so perfectly.
Oh,
and for
absolutely.
not watching or listening at home, go to YouTube. You'll see the full video. We'll separate it into a separate clip, but definitely worth watching that one.
That was a good one.
With the Ahsoka show coming up, we got an Ahsoka TikTok.
So much like your father.
Not Grogu.
I'm hoping to have a youngling death joke every episode.
Yeah, you've been on a roll here, bud. When I was talking about a good show, you got a little excited, man.
Yeah. We get to see Anakin kill kids. Yeah, let's do that.
I'm all for it. That was a good one. I was curious which way that was going to go because I always forget that Ahsoka, like her Jedi master, was Luke's father. Like, I don't know why I always just separate those two in my head, but I do so much.
Oh, I off topic, but I saw a TikTok this week that if you had watched Clone Wars already, I wanted to share with you but it's like spoiler central, and it was just breaking down like Ahsoka's character arc throughout the show, and then going into Rebels, and like after watching it, I was just like, yep, 100%, she's my favorite character. I'm like, dude, yeah. So this next one, as you're a Mandalorian fan and a Grogu fan and someone that despises this one scene, I think you're going to definitely enjoy this one.
I'm Rey. Rey who? Rey Skywalker.
That was fantastic. I laughed so hard at that scene. I rewound that scene. Rewound? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Rewinded?
Rewind?
Rewind. I traveled back in time with that scene so many times. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, and I don't think anybody expected that scene. Like no one. Like
no. Him being able to somewhat talk, absolutely not. And being able to say no, that's about it. Hilarious.
Yeah, when I saw that TikTok this week, I was like, we don't deserve the internet. I was like, well, I don't know what we did to deserve stuff like that, but perfect time.
That's good. That's hilarious.
So the final one I got for you last week, and it kind of ties in perfectly with us talking about fan films. Okay. We found our villain last week with the gentleman who reluctantly decided to be our villain. I found our hero this week, and I don't know what his real name is. All I will tell you is he goes by Dragon. And
what a name!
This guy. Sometimes I question what people are willing to post on TikTok, and this guy's one of them because I've got like 7 of his videos just ready to go. But anyway, so this video, someone asked him, "Hey, I'd love to be your girlfriend. What do I have to do to be your girlfriend?" And I thought that's perfect opportunity because we've got our villain, Dragon can be our hero, and we just need to know what he's looking for in a woman to be kind of the person he has to save in our Star Wars movie. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Dragon and, of course, his requirements for the lady of his life.
Well, if you want to date a guy like me, then there's 5 rules that you have to follow. Rule number 1, you have to be a hot girl between the ages of 19 and 47 years old. No uglies. Rule number 2, you are not allowed to break up with me no matter what.
I think that's pretty fair.
Oh my gosh.
Rule number 3, never accuse me of lying. I would never lie to you, baby girl. Rule number 4, don't even think about looking at another boy. You don't want to make the dragon jealous.
Oh no,
Good dragon.
Woo.
And rule number 5, you have to give me a kiss.
Oh, guy's going in for it. Oh, what? I didn't ask for this. What? What?
And if you could follow those 5 rules, then you will probably be my girlfriend.
you just made me watch. That was. There's so many levels.
I have watched that video 20 times, and I still laugh every single time.
Dude, okay. First off, his first rule, there was 2. Okay, there was certain age requirement and no uglies. That was 2 things. Like, come on,
6
man.
rules.
Secondly, did he have contacts on? Was that like a filter?
I think it was a
eyes?
filter. I think it was a
that
filter.
Him turning into a dragon?
Yeah.
His growling, his biting, and that very unwanted, inappropriate kiss at the end. Sir, you should be ashamed. Okay.
So just to be clear, we're not putting him in the movie
as the hero. You. Question. Just to be clear, just so we're clear, the answer is no.
Now, does it change if I were to pull up another video where he actually transforms into a dragon? Would that change here?
Maybe. Now, hold on. Now, okay. He may have to not be trying to kiss me as a dragon, but I'm down to see that.
The kiss is the absolutely most violating thing I've ever seen on TikTok.
We just talked about reacting in like movie theaters and stuff. Like I literally was like, I had to like not look, but look, and like not look.
I have been sitting on that video for literally since we probably last talked. And I have literally just been dying to show it to you. And I've just been wanting to text it to you the entire week. But I was like, no, I have to properly introduce him to him on the show.
Dude, man.
And I mean, I think he'd be a great hero in the movie. But, you know, his rules are pretty steep.
Yeah, he's a little aggressive. He might be Apprentice to the villain from last week.
That's true. I just think that what more is there to love about someone who would never lie to you, baby?
Never lie to you.
Never lie to you, baby.
I promise.
Yeah. You don't want to make the dragon thing. Anyway, those are the 4 TikToks I got for you. There is a bonus one that I got. The final one that I got for you is kind of vision boarding, right? Or I guess what's it called? Building a vision board. Isn't that what it is? Brainstorming of what the future of the Scruffy Nerf Herder Podcast could be. And I saw a dude's man cave this week, and the first thing that came to mind was like, that would be a dope studio.
So it required me to move closer to you.
Yeah,
so we could do this in person.
But we'd be rich. We would have already sold our brand new Star Wars movie script, so you could live in Arizona and in Texas and fly over for episodes or however you decide to do it. But check out this dude's man cave, or as I've been titling it, my future office.
People ask me all the time, why? Why would you build all of this and not have automatic doors? Well, my answer is, thank you. Thank you to my followers for giving me the motivation to install them.
Does that play when he walks in?
I think he put that over.
I don't know.
But how dope is that?
That's freaking sick.
Imagine like bringing clients, sponsors in, and you're like, let's go into the Falcon.
Right. Wow.
Just put a little like desk there for us to do our podcast right in the center.
Oh yeah. Welcome to my man freighter. Looks like a waiting area for like a Disney ride as well.
Yeah.
Dang, man, that was well done. See what I'm saying though? The love, the passion.
Mm-hmm.
That dude probably made that, or he paid somebody to do it. One of the two. But either way, the love and the passion.
Yeah, I specifically loved it looked like a gaming setup where he had like the monitor in there and like all that, and then he had the theater set up,
cockpit of like an X-wing or something.
Yeah,
it looks sick.
And then I noticed he had the Galactic Star Cruiser windows where he has a screen and it's stars out the window. Dude, it's awesome. Like it's killer all the way around. But yeah, continue supporting this podcast, friends, because we want to build an office.
Tell your friends, tell your droids, don't tell Dragon. Don't tell
Yeah,
Dragon.
don't tell Dragon. Yeah, we never talk of Dragon again.
Dragon. I'm gonna remember Dragon the rest of my life, unfortunately.
Yeah, but anyway, I thought that was pretty dope. But yeah, that's all the TikToks we got for this week. So unfortunately, that's it.
Yeah, we're good. We'll find more. We'll have more
We will.
for you next week.
I do have more. I was just trying to keep it to like, I don't know, 4, 5-ish a week.
Good,
but
man.
I've got a good backlog of potential TikToks to bring forward. So
No.
Next week's the week, bud. Ahsoka.
Next week's the week, man. I'm so excited. It's Wednesday, right?
Yes, 2 episodes.
23rd. Woo, 2 episodes. So are we breaking it down 2 episodes in one of our episodes, or are we doing 1 episode for each one?
I don't know. So for Kenobi, we did what? 2 episodes, right?
No, we talked every week, but I can't remember how we did the first one.
Okay. I'll have to go back and look.
I'm sure there'll be a lot to unpack. So trying to do 2 episodes of Ahsoka in one. I mean, we'll see. Maybe there's not a whole lot. Maybe it's a lot of story building, and we can.
What if it sucks?
God, don't say that, man. I'm so nervous about it sucking. Like, I don't want it to suck. I want it to be really good. I think Ahsoka's an awesome character, the little bit that I've seen her, and I'm really excited for it. So I'm really, really, really hoping it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this from like, it's my new favorite character in the entire Star Wars universe, and I'm like, just make it good. But they did such a good job with Mando, and Filoni's involved, and he's literally the guy who created Ahsoka. So I'm like, I can't in any universe see this being a bad show. Like, I can't.
Don't say that yet.
Yeah, no. Yeah, here comes next week.
Next week, you're just like this. The opening is just like this. It's so bad.
Yeah. Next week's episode will be hosted by the Dragon. If we're just gonna watch Dragon TikToks on Ahsoka cast if it's bad. Yeah, that's all we're gonna do.
What was my laugh just now? Did you hear that squeal? It almost sounded like laser blasts. Can't do it again. But oh well, I'm excited, man. I can't wait.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, so I think the idea that I wrote down was essentially still keeping, maybe having a Scruffy Nerf Herder separated podcast that week, and then doing an Ahsoka one, or doing I don't know. We're still tied up about whether it's going to be a Ahsoka-cast or a Tano cast or something. But by the time it comes up, pay attention to the feed, pay attention to YouTube. You'll see it pop up and watch through with us. I was trying to figure out logistics and legality of doing a watch along, where we hang out and do a live stream where we're not showing the show, but you and I are watching it at the same time together and maybe doing it that way. But I don't know the logistics of what we could do legality, because then like somebody at home could essentially be listening to it while watching it with us, almost like it's a mystery science theater type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the comment section, let us know what you guys like to see. If you'd like us to go back to the Kenobi cast where we break down it, or do a mystery science theater, let us know. We're going to be together this weekend, so we probably figure it out in the next couple days.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, but either way, I'm down. Sounds fun.
Yep. And keep an eye open for our upcoming Star Wars horror movie. Really looking forward to doing that. That's going to be a fun time.
Trademark.
Yep, we're going to kill some younglings. That's all you need to know.
Whoa. Don't end with that.
That is probably a bad way to end. May the Force be with you. Occasionally.
And also with you.